Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IAS English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar. Justice Varma is in news. And why is he in news? Again, I don't think that's a brainer. He has been in news from last, I think, more than a month, right? So May 28, 2025, Indian Express, cash at residence, government likely to bring impeachment motion against Justice Varma. So there will be certain keywords here. And Judges Inquiry Act, what is this impeachment motion? If Justice Varma is removed by this impeachment motion, will he be the first judge ever? Anything first is very important, your first love, your first crush. So again, we'll talk about some first here. Then we'll talk about corruption. Then we'll talk about second ARC, ethics and governance. Then we'll talk about corruption perception index. Then we'll talk about something called as risk profiling. At the end, whatever we have read, we will solve 3 MCQs so that we can remember stuff in a much better manner. Impeachment motion likely. So government is expected to bring an impeachment motion. So what has happened is Supreme Court, their in-house panel, they did an inquiry on this here, Justice Varma. Don't kill me in the comment section because I have said sir with this Justice Varma, because again, I say sir with anyone and everyone, with due respect to Justice Varma, sir. So here, Supreme Court, they found credibility. They are like, yes, currency wars, not one currency, like so much currency. Oh my God, if it would have been distributed among poor people, poverty would have been eradicated in India. That's just a joke. Don't kill me again. So Justice Varma, and like impeachment motion will happen. Is this the first impeachment motion ever, or earlier attempts were made? Why did they fail? Then there are certain things. Impeachment motion, how does it happen? What is special majority? What is effective majority? What is absolute majority? There are so many terms here which we need to understand, and we'll talk about. We are not going into the domain of special, effective and absolute majority. If you know it, you can post it in the comment section. We have some very, very important other things to do. So resignation refused. Justice Varma, after all the things which has happened, and I think every media, print, electronic, they have covered what has happened or what happened with Justice Varma. He did not resign. He was transferred to Allahabad High Court. No work has been assigned to him yet, but he has not resigned. Now, recommendation to impeach. Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna, submitted the inquiry report. The basic premise is, in the upcoming monsoon session, impeachment motion can be initiated against Justice Varma by the month of July, they are talking about. So President has forwarded the recommendation. Now here, there are certain keywords. How this impeachment motion will be carried out? Can it be introduced in, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, either of them? The answer is yes. How many members support it need if this motion is introduced? Please, oh my God, I'm stammering here. Please pay attention. Lok Sabha 100 MPs, Rajya Sabha 50 MPs. They can easily convert these numbers. They can easily, change these numbers. So you have to pay attention. These are the things which are important from exam perspective. How Justice Varma is corrupt, this and that. We are not going or delving into his personal life. These facts and figures, this is important. Requires 2/3 majority in both houses to pass. This is not complete. There are so many other things here. 50% of, more than 50% of the members present in voting, and then 2/3 majority. I will give you some example. Via that example, we'll try to understand this whole impeachment process, because this is important from every exam perspective, especially UPSC. Government strategy. So as we have discussed, in the upcoming monsoon session, by by July, they are thinking about bringing this impeachment motion. Okay, cool. Means not cool. It's all about corruption. Corruption is never cool. Now let's talk about the things which are important from exam perspective. Which constitutional articles deals with this whole impeachment process? 124, 217, Supreme Court judges, High Court judges. You can see here, these articles, they are very important. They can ask you in any exam, and they can change the article number related to the procedure for removal of judges. Like, there was one question which we have discussed just right now. Has any judge been impeached ever? The answer is no. Impeachment motion has been introduced, but somewhere or the other, some judges, they resigned earlier. Sometimes this impeachment motion, if it was passed in Rajya Sabha, it failed in Lok Sabha. So many things has happened. Now there are other terms also which we have to understand. Impeachment process, on which ground judges can be removed. These words, you may have heard about them multiple number of times. Proven misbehavior, incapacity. What is the meaning? What is proven misbehavior? So this example, Justice Varma, corruption. This is proven misbehavior. Corruption, embezzlement, etc. What is incapacity? Here we are talking about health. Which kind of health? physical or mental health. That means if, let's say, you are not capable physically, you're not capable mentally, then that comes under the category of incapacity. So please understand these words. Proven misbehavior, corruption is one such proven misbehavior which applies to Justice Varma. Incapacity, physical or mental health, does it apply to him? In this scenario, I don't think so. But again, you can pitch in here if you have anything to add to that. Procedure for impeachment. Now remember here, the keywords are important. Judges Inquiry Act. When was it passed? 1968. Just like there are some other acts, WPA Act, Wildlife Protection Act. When was it passed? 1972. Then you have Right to Education Act. When was it passed? RTE 2009, Right to Information. When was it passed? 2005. So these are some important acts which we need to know. Judges Inquiry Act, when was it passed? So Constitution and Judges Inquiry Act both talks about impeachment process. What is the process here? This is important. This we are seeing for the second time. Anything. Many times I hear in the comment section, sir, you're repeating stuff. I keep on telling people if I'm repeating stuff, that means that particular stuff is important. If you're seeing this particular thing for the second time, that means this point is important. If, let's say, motion has been introduced, impeachment motion, it will not go further until or unless it has 100 MP support in Lok Sabha or 50 MP support in Rajya Sabha. It can be introduced in either of the house. It's not like it has to be introduced in Lok Sabha first or Rajya Sabha first. No, either of the house, but this is the condition. 50, 100. 50 Rajya Sabha, 100 Lok Sabha. Remember it. Submitted to speaker or chairman based on where it is introduced first. If they admit it, speaker or chairperson, if they admit it, then the whole process will start. Presiding officer may admit or refuse. If they refuse it, the whole process goes out of the window. You will understand there are so many checks and balances here. Maybe sometimes unnecessary according to different scholars, because of which no impeachment has ever been done. Will this be the first ever? First. So we are, like many people are very excited about it. No, it is not a case of excitement. This is a case of corruption. As I have told you multiple number of times, second ARC, Administrative Reforms Commission, Ethics and Governance, what they say about India? That corruption is a low return, high risk activity in most countries of the world. In India, corruption is a high return, low risk activity. And corruption is an exception rather than norm in most countries of the world. In India, corruption is a norm rather than exception. We have to change that. You people as civil servants have to change that. Now, after this whole thing has been admitted by speaker or chairperson, then an inquiry committee will be set up. Please pay attention here. So, inquiry committee, who will be the member? Supreme Court judge or CJI. It is not must. Sometimes they will give you inquiry committee has to have Chief Justice of India. Not necessary, sir. Supreme Court judge will also suffice. Chief Justice of High Court. Cool. Distinguished jurist. Pay attention here. They have not written district court judges, etc. So it's not compulsory that district court judges has to be part of this inquiry committee. And committee investigates, submits a report. If they say that yes, proven misbehavior or incapacity conditions are there, then the parliamentary vote will happen. If the committee finds the judge guilty, now certain things are into picture. Please pay attention here. Oh my God, I'm getting excited. These two things you may have read. If you read Polity, if you read Lakshmikant, you may have seen these kind of provisions a lot. 2/3 majority, present in voting, 50% of the total membership. Now, there's one question for you. If you know it, you can post it in the comment section. What is effective majority? What is absolute majority? What is special majority? Although special majority is not of one kind, there are different types of special majority. If you know the basic definition, post it in the comment section. First of all, let me explain you this. Let's take a scenario. Let's take a scenario of Lok Sabha. Hypothetical scenario we are taking. Let's say 540 members are there total. Hypothetical scenario 545, 550, 552. It can be anything. In this scenario, we are taking 540 total. Pay attention. 2/3 of the members present and voting. For calculation purpose, let's say 300 members are present. So what they are saying, how this particular vote will be passed, 2/3 members present and voting, majority. So that means 201, 200 plus members are needed if we talk about this criteria. But this is not it. You also need more than 50% of total membership. That means 270 plus here. Both condition has to be satisfied. That means 270 plus. That means out of 300 present member, if 270 plus members, they pass this motion, then it will go into other house. This is very, very tough. Hope you understood this maths. This also involves CSAT. Oh my God. Look at this question. Removal by president. If both house, so this thing has to be repeated in both house. You can understand how tricky this is. Like we have taken a hypothetical scenario. 540 total members are there. 300 are present. In that scenario, two conditions, both these conditions have to be satisfied. Out of 300, 270 plus members, if they supported, only in that scenario, it will go to other house. It's not like the process is complete now. Removal by process means president rather. If both house pass this motion, such a tedious process, the only thing which will change is the numbers. In Rajya Sabha, the numbers will reduce, right? Both house pass the motion, the president issues an order for, this is called presidential order. Okay, for removal. Now, key points, process is, you can understand how. Do you think, again, there's a question for you people, do you think we should simplify this process? Do you think it's just too tedious? Many people, they counter it that no, there is something called as separation of power, legislature, executive, judiciary. If you make this process too simple, then judiciary will be in turn dependent upon legislature, that is parliament and even president. So executive, that is not good for the independence of judiciary. They need certain amount of, this safeguard is important. So that is what is written here, designed to protect judicial independence. It's not like time and again they will issue this impeachment thing. That does not happen. That's why this process is so rigid. But again, many people feel it's just too rigid. 300 present, 270 plus needed. This is actually next to impossible, bro, to impeach if you think about it. Hope you understood that maths thing. Past judicial impeachment, as we have talked about it, the motion has been initiated earlier also, Justice V. Ramaswamy. But again, you can see here, it was introduced in Lok Sabha, failed in Rajya Sabha because the majority was not reached in Rajya Sabha. We can understand why it may have happened. Then these are not the only cases. Justice Soumitra Sen, again, impeachment passed in Rajya Sabha, but he resigned before it could be introduced in Lok Sabha. They could vote on it. So different examples are there of impeachment. Justice P.D. Dinakaran, you can see here, Justice J.P. Pardiwala, C.V. Nagarjuna Reddy. All these things reached at different levels, but they did not culminated in the impeachment. So will Justice Varma be the first case ever of impeachment process? So current case, this is not the first impeachment attempt, but it could become the first successful removal of a judge. Do you think it will? Or do you think he will resign before that? Or do you think it will be getting, failed or not passed in either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha because the process is so tedious? So this is the question. Do you think this will be the first judicial impeachment ever? Yes or no? And we now know the conditions, so how it can fail. Do you think this will not be the first judicial impeachment because Justice Varma will resign before that? Or do you think it will fail in either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? If you want to go further, dig deeper, where can it fail? Do you think it has a higher probability of failing in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Or do you think even before that, speaker or chairperson will not admit it? Where can things go wrong? If you just take a guess, bro, let's play a game. And this is all about corruption. And that's why these corruption memes are there. Like, when you eat golgappa and you take papdi chaat, or that is not corruption, that's just a joke. Second ARC, Second Administrative Reforms Commission. I keep on telling about it because you will read rather GS paper 4, ethics. Second ARC, ethics and governance report. What they talk about corruption? I have told you those two things. High risk and low return, high risk activity, high return, low risk activity, norm rather than exception, exception rather than norm. So I'm not repeating it. Now your homework. Corruption Perception Index, published by someone known as Transparency International. Find out India's current rank. Are we topping from the bottom? Are we topping from the top? How is India doing as far as corruption is concerned? Then what is the solution? How we can, corruption has been normalized to a certain extent in our country. There's so-called chalta hai attitude that it's fine, bro. Let's give it. No, that chalta hai attitude that it's fine, it's not going to work. So now second ARC, ethics and governance, they talked about something called as risk profiling. What is risk profiling? People job. Let's try to understand this risk profiling thing. People job. High risk people. Let's say high risk job. I will make you understand this because you have to suggest measures as a UPSC aspirant, as a civil servant. It's just not like, oh my God, there's corruption in India, there's corruption. No, if there is corruption, what will you do to address it? So this is the address part. High risk, low risk, low risk. So what second ARC ethics and governance talks about is risk profiling. High risk people should be assigned low risk job. Low risk people should be assigned high risk job. Let's try to understand it. Let's say you're working at a, somewhere traffic police. There is too much scope for corruption there. So you track the people. You see, risk profiling means you track people. You track people like Justice Varma sir, their track record last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. This is applicable for any kind of job. And then if you feel like he's a high risk individual, that he's very prone to corruption, give him those jobs where there is, low risk of corruption. Because let's say you give him some job where everything is leaving behind a digital trail, or you put him in any place like where you have to do online transaction, etc. So if online transaction is happening in a particular job, that means that is a low risk job. Assign that task to high risk people. There is very lesser ways of him doing corruption or her doing corruption. Similarly, low risk people, if there are people who don't do corruption much, who are less prone to corruption, assign them high risk job. maybe traffic police job where there is too much chance of corruption, assign it to those people who are actually honest. So this is known as risk profiling, suggested by second ARC Ethics and Governance. Could it be implemented in judiciary? Can we check, which kind of high courts are more, high risk jobs, like high risk high courts where corruption happens a lot? Again, with due respect to judiciary here. Again, these things we can talk about later on also. Let's solve some MCQs based on what we have read up until now. This is MCQ 1 for you. If you know the answer, post it in the comment section. MCQ 2, if you know the answer, post it in the comment section. This will help you in remembering stuff. MCQ 3. Under the Judges Inquiry Act, who among the following is not necessarily a member of inquiry committee? I have stressed on this particular point. So again, if you know it, please post it in the comment section. Cool, sir. I will share this particular PDF along with the answer of these 3 MCQs in my Telegram channel, Fun Study with Shub, because study should be fun. Awesome. And also, if you are a serious UPSC, 2026 aspirant, our Me Morning batch has started from 28th. Today's 28th, right? So I've taken the orientation session today. Tomorrow also I will take the session. Day after tomorrow also, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Admissions are closing on 31st May 2025. Join at the earliest. This is P2I, prelims to interview, We'll be guiding you from prelims till interview, and you can use my code SHS Live to get maximum discount. You can see that in the bottom section as well. And there will be a monthly quiz at the end of every month. If you top it, you will get 11,000 reward. If you clear UPSC pre 2026, we'll initiate full refund for you. And yeah, because you will be making yourself as well as ourselves proud. So join at the earliest if you're a serious UPSC 2026 aspirant. Cool, sir and ma'am. So that's it from me. Whatever views you have about this particular topic, you can share it in the comment section. So I'll be gone now. Take care, be blessed. Tata, bye-bye.